Welcome ladies and gentlemen to Castlevania Curse of Darkness. We're doing a full playthrough of yet another one of my childhood classics, this one being from 2005. And let's watch it, let's go for the intro scene. So I've not played this game in years and I don't think I've ever played on PC before. But, I mean, the main thing I take away from this was the music when I played it back in the day. So many iconic soundtracks, especially when you get locked in a room. I mean, I barely remember this one at all. I barely remember the intro theme. There's Hector versus Isaac and then Julia. It makes even less sense now looking at Isaac's outfit. It makes no sense at all. Does have a killer haircut though. There we go. That sets up the premise for the game. So it's the main character Hector and a nemesis of some sort, Isaac, with beasts to go with it. But without explaining too much more, let's get into it. I think there's a bit of a verbal intro to start this one as well. I'm going to save over my test so far because I don't need that anymore. Yeah, it's the music that makes this game for me. The music and the crafting. Because that is an iconic part of this game for me. I think more than any other game, maybe. This is the game with the best crafting for me. Right, I'm going to let this scene run and shut up.
Between Dracula and humanity. Just when it seemed that there was no hope for mankind to prevail. Out of the darkness and despair, a champion arose. A true-blooded vampire hunter named Trevor Belmont. Belmont and his comrades triumphantly slew Lord Dracula. A truly glorious victory for all. However, the evil one did not pass from this world in silence. With his final words, Lord Dracula left a demonic curse that enshrouded all of Europe in misery and torment. Ravaged by hideous plague and dire famine, the people's hearts turned black and murderous. The weak were slain without pity, while the land was pillaged and scourged without remorse. 3 years have passed since the death of Lord Dracula, and the invocation of Dracula's curse.
So there we go, there's the big verbal intro to the game. So the background, the land is cursed. I'm not quite sure if this is set in... Was it mentioned Europe there? I'm not quite sure if it's actually set in a particular place in Europe. Because, yeah, a lot of Castlevania draws upon the legend of Dracula, which I think is set in Romania. And now here we get our first sight of Hector. I should playing on PC. Everything's upscaled except the cutscenes, so this isn't upscaled. This is classic PS2.
I know you're here!
There we go. Hector calling out Isaac already. We start in an abandoned castle.
Is that you? I finally tracked you down.
You tracked me down. I was the one who lured you here. Hector, the fool who betrayed our Lord Dracula.
That matters not. I've come to exact my revenge upon you. For the death of Rosalie!
Oh, and how will you have this revenge? When you are utterly at my mercy, you relinquished your powers. You couldn't even protect your own woman. And now you think to defeat me? Lord Dracula is gone, but his powers are still here in Valencia. Even you must realize.
Devil forging.
Indeed, with this the most forbidden of arts. A wisp of conjured matter can be transformed into a hellish devil. There are but 2 humans who possess this magnificent power. You and I.
Yes, to our lasting shame. But I shed that evil power. Never again will I use it.
But you will, Hector, and soon you have no choice. Without it, I could crush you in an instant. But that wouldn't be very satisfying, now would it? You deserve a most gruesome fate for the humiliation you brought upon me 3 years ago. Bereft of the power of devil forging, you cannot hope to pursue me. That is why you will reclaim your powers, and thence follow where I lead you. But, in the end, the glorious vengeance you seek will not be yours. 'Twill be mine.
Wait! Isaac! Damn him. So be it. I must descend into darkness and reclaim that accursed power once more. Heed my words. I will hunt you down like the beast you are! I will have my revenge.
And there we go, the opening cutscene. I absolutely love it. Like, Isaac is such a good villain, to be honest. Like, he's kind of got that camp, chaotic madness energy. And yeah, we can see now what differences the resolution enhancements have made. I think I'm running this on ×5 native, and I think native's 720p PS2. But it makes a bit of a difference in the gameplay, but not in the cutscenes. And I'm still getting used to control because I think inverted has a different definition in every game. So, and there's our first monster. A little bit glitchy with the audio, but this game doesn't mess around; it gets straight into it. Okay, I'm not used to. I'm like looking the wrong way every time. Luckily, it's not too difficult at this point. But yeah, it's interesting comparing the opening monologue to the opening scene, because it starts off stating how Trevor Belmont is the hero, and he's kind of an established Castlevania character, and then we're playing as someone else entirely, playing as Hector. But yeah, like, I've played this game lots before, but that opening cutscene has just hooked me already, because it's such a crazy energy that Isaac has. And he's right when he says he can crush you in an instant, like, judging by the difficulty of the boss fights later on in the game. And it introduces us straight away to the main kind of gameplay of this game, which is devil forging. Never remember the right way to go here. I'm going to go right and hope that's the correct way. Looks like it is. And that is a move that I'm going to do every time as well. The 2 hits and then the circle to throw the sword and have it spinning. I don't know why, that just seems like the best move every time. I think one of the major criticisms this game got is how slow Hector is. And there are a few mods available online, but I've not bothered to install them. I think making Hector go faster is one that's kind of... You can speed him up, but not speed up his run speed. And here is what makes this game brilliant to me. Every time you get locked in a room, rock music plays until you either die or kill all the enemies. And that to me is just fucking awesome. Not generally a fan of rock at all, but in this game it just works. First level up. I got there in time. And yeah, we get a lot of that, locking in rooms and just rock music. And the music in general for this game, I've said it already, it's brilliant. This first track isn't one of my favourites, to be honest, but it's still it's still a banger. We're getting these materials now, but we can't do any crafting yet. But that is my absolute favourite part of this game, the crafting. So as for what we're going to do in this playthrough, obviously it's going to be the full story. I'm going to do all the side bosses as well. I think there's really only one side boss. I'm going to craft the laser blade. That is really my main goal of this game. I'm sure in previous playthroughs I've got to the point where I've made the laser blade and then thought, yeah, that'll do, and just not finish the story. Yeah, the whole story, plus Legion and Nucleus, the side bosses. I want to have a crack at boss rush mode as well. Because I'm sure as a kid that was something I just did over and over again, trying to beat my PBs for. I think we need to do to unlock boss rush is beat every boss. Nice and quick saving relative to what it was in PS2 days. where it had to physically write the memory card. Still quite not used to these directions. I think bronze is like the very base ingredient for the game, and I know you need a lot of it. Because I always remember getting to a point in the game where there are no more skeletons, and I still need bronze. To go all the way back. It's just going to be the map. Yeah, lovely. Can't remember what buttons I've assigned. Yeah, very basic map, as it turns out. I know it's an old, I think 2005 PS2 classic, but yeah. I mean, it's got all the details in it. You don't need much more than that. Those guys are definitely annoying. As soon as we unlock the ability to steal. If I remember correctly, the ability to steal is completely missable. So you can go the whole game and just not even know about it. And that's where the rare ingredients come from. But I know there's a lot of steals I need to do to get all the items I want. I know to get the spear, you have to steal from the first Isaac boss fight. And that's... I think the spear is called the Chair of Sorrows, and you needed to upgrade the final Innocent Devil towards the end of the game. And the steal from the Dullahan. There we go, second rock track. Ah. The steal from the Dullahan is needed for the laser blade as well. So as soon as you've beaten the Dullahan, you can get the blade. Oof. I can't remember how to focus. I may not have unlocked it yet. Ah! Oh, we're gone. Nice. Door's unlocked already, but I want these guys down. As for weapons, like, at the moment we're stuck with a sword and that's our only option, but there's a lot of different classes. I seem to... Oh, there we go. Sealed by an unknown power. Can't open it with strength alone. I seem to remember that back in the day I think I decided that fisticuffs were the best because they were the fastest. But let's see this soon.
This unearthly power. Is it coming from that tombstone? How conscientious of him. He carved the instructions into stone along with the most difficult visualization. So, that's how badly he wants me to regain my powers. Very well. Heed my words, O great powers of darkness. Release to me the tortured souls. Let me infuse him with my life force and awaken him to the world of the living. Immaculate being, appear before me now!
Iconic. And there's our first devil. New character.
Well, well. Devil forging, isn't it? Never seen that before. Quite impressive. It's enough to make your blood run cold.
Who are you?
Oh, my apologies, my lord. I should have offered an introduction. I go by Zed. I'm here for one purpose only. To purify this land of the pestilent curse which infects it.
I see.
You, on the other hand, are pursuing the other Devil Forge Master, are you not? The one you seek fled toward the chapel on the other side of the mountain. He made his escape through the back of the castle.
What concern is this to you?
He is the one protecting the curse. Ergo, he is an impediment to me, and to all those who abide in this land.
I see. Very well. I, Hector, thank you for your help. Now, if you'll forgive me, I must be on my way.
So at this point, the character of Zed seems entirely an innocent... You know, he's to be trusted at this point. Right, let's deal with this first. Our first innocent devil. I've got to think of a name for this. Like, I'm going to go through some of the options, but... No, that's good. I'll stick with Vivi. Right, okay, so... Basically, the important part of this... I mean, the fairy innocent devil is a healer, essentially. The important part of this is it levels up with what weapon you use, or what weapon class, even. So swords, axes, spears, etc. And I'm going to have to do a bit of Googling to find out what path I want to take this down. really, so I'll set it to auto. And it can open chests as well. And that is the item that we need to crack on with this. So yeah, I think at every stage I'll stop and try and work out what ID I want. Because yeah, once it's evolved, it can't then be unevolved. You can get another one through breeding, because they lay eggs eventually. But I want to get the right one as quickly as I can. I don't think we're at the point where we're collecting crystals yet. But the things I definitely want the long glide when we get the bird ID, and I definitely want that when we get the strong guy. I mean, the battle ID is, I think, the most important one, to be honest, because that's the one you end up using most of the time. Ideally, for combat, I want the Corpsey, which is the guy that does like the Bone Storm and the Bone Fire, whatever you call it. But I think the first one I want to get is the one with the strong lift, or heavy lift, or whatever you call it. Because there's a bit in... I mean, I'm thinking way too far ahead already. There's a bit in Infinity Corridor where you need the strong lift to unlock what I think is the best training method in the game. So I think once I get to that point, I'll just try and get another ID, or level up all the ones I've got, and then get the Corpsey from there. I don't know what level of completionism I want to achieve in this playthrough. I want to get quite far. It's been, again, I think the furthest I've ever got would have been in my first playthrough years ago. And yeah, I mean, the main completionist element of this game, aside from kind of unlocking everything painstakingly and crafting everything, is going to be the tower. Which I can't even remember where it is. It might be in the Beljet Mountains. But there's a tower just... There's loads of floors where you go up and you just fight monster after monster. Waves of them. And then you do a long glide to another tower and go all the way back down again, and it's even harder. I think I did manage to do it once. Many years ago, but I want to have a proper go at it now. I don't know if there's much point in me killing literally everything I see other than levelling up, but I definitely want a lot of bronze. That's what I know. Still haven't got the ability to steal yet, and we still can't do a double step. Which is definitely something I want to be able to do. I seem to remember in my head doing a double step all the time is quicker than running, but I'm not sure that's actually true. So want the laser blade already. Like, the sound the laser blade makes is just completely iconic to me. I can definitely understand the criticism with Hector's running, because like, it doesn't even look like he's putting effort into it. Right, is that the correct way? It must be. It's the only way. After all these years, I do still love this soundtrack. Alright, now we go down into the watery region, if I remember correctly, where there's some spinny guys, kind of recurring enemies. There we go. Merman? Yeah, Merman. I seem to remember these guys either having good steals or... I mean, they're a recurring enemy in the sense that there's a lot of like upgraded variants. Any chests around here? Maybe. Can't be bothered to look though. I'm sure they've got good steals. Either them or they're upgraded guys. And there's going to be our first potion now. Right, here is... yeah, there's where the Dragon Crest goes, so we needed to go the other way first. Another rock room! Ow, hit already. I might actually set the healer to manual. If it's wasting 20 heal on an 8 heal, then it might not be worth using. Right, new ability. Okay, that's the best diary. So, I'm tempted to go for 100% best diary as well. And what that will entail is basically going up and down the towers to get basically everything. Oh, our first new ghosts as well. Oh, they're quick. Everything in this room. So the layout's changed already. I want to start branching out with what weapons we have. Because at the moment we've only got sword, obviously. All two different ways there's that save room. I don't think you actually have to save to register it, I think. See, I'm saying all this, I want to go for 100% map as well. I want to do full completionist on this. I want to go full gamer. There's two ways here. I'm pretty sure they go the same way. I hate these guys just moving around everywhere. I mean, there are more annoying enemies later on, with the flippy guys with the two swords. Probably the most frustrating enemy in this game, because they jump around all over the place. Right, this might be a bonus room, I can't remember. Yeah, it is. Right, we'll definitely go in here then, because there might be good stuff in there. I seem to remember there's a room where there's infinitely... Yeah, it's this one. There's infinitely falling barrels and you can't get through until you've got the mage devil, I think, because that's the one that freezes time. Lost my bearings already. Yeah, it is this way. Nice. I'm still confusing circle and triangle as well. I'll jazz it up occasionally with my sword attacks, but I'm convinced there is no better attack than square, square, circle. So doing the 2 hits and then the throw. Let's make sure I'm going the right way. See, I want to go back, and I think for completion's sake, I want to go back and fill in that bit of map again already. Exactly what I'm going to do. I want 100%. And the other big thing with this is the chairs. There's a big chair room in Cordova Town. Just filled with all of the possible chairs you could sit in around like all the different levels. Like, it's a bizarre thing to add to a game, especially a Castlevania one. It's just like one of those weird... bit. Yeah, it's just one of those weird completionist elements. Do I have to go in here? Or yeah, I do. Because yeah, I know there's a chair somewhere in Abandoned Castle. I think it's some sort of like executioner chair. And there we go. Should have the rest of that filled in. Lovely. We'll keep going. So I need to learn how to time my blocks better in this game as well. I think in every game where there's an option to block and dodge, I'm always going to dodge. But in this game you need the perfect block to get access to a lot of steals. Lucky there. I might have actually taken a damage. No. Right, what do I have to kill to get through there? Well, that's quite an interesting feature is that the Innocent Devils have length, MP and health. So if they use a move, that is the same as them having damage taken. Money bag, but we're in a locked room. I love these rooms. I think the music gets more intense with the later levels as well. Just heavier rock. It's quite a good AoE stuff actually. Maybe we do have steel. Maybe we just got lock on. Oh, it's R2. There we go, got there in the end. Am I finished? How am I not finished? Okay, I am. Never mind. Right, am I going the right way? Yes. How do I restore that to normal? Oh, there we go. It's going to ruin my OCD otherwise. Oh, okay. A secret room. I remember as a kid being stuck in here for ages. I didn't understand what was happening. There we go, we got crafting. Right. This is by far the best part of this game to me. Short sword and wild memory. Let's double check what else I can make while I'm here. Bronze and wild memory. I've only got one wild memory at the moment. And I think I'll make the armor. Oh no, I want to make the axe. I can't decide already. I want to make everything. Let's make the axe. And there we go. There's our first new weapon, being a Gano. And that's all we can equip now. Okay, so they're all the different types. We got sword, axe, axe and hatchet, all in the same one. Knuckle and special. The special ones are weird because you get stuff like a guitar and a baseball bat, and just stuff that doesn't really work in combat. Pretty sure it's this pillar. There we go. But yeah, in my head, the knuckle stuff are the best, simply because it's the fastest. And I'm pretty sure axes are the worst because they're the slowest. I could be wrong. Someone might have done the maths on this already. I mean, it's a game. They definitely have. Thank you. What do I get here? And now we've got the evolution crystals. Right, I'm gonna look at some charts and work out what I want to evolve this devil into. So, let's have a look. Right, a bit of research later, and I have come to my decision, and it is literally the stupidest decision you can make. Because I'm only going for this one because of its ability to like unlock one thing later in the game. But I'm going for the Proboscis Fairy. Which, I mean, I'm going to need like, a special weapon later on to unlock it. But basically it's going to be useless in combat completely. And, alright, I need to change weapon to do this as well. Because I need to be getting, I think it's either red or yellow crystals instead of blues. But yeah, it's going to be useless in combat. It doesn't unlock many heals, but it just unlocks one thing much later on in the game that's going to have... I mean, it's not even much. It's just a completionist thing. It unlocks a couple of chairs and a little bit more map, and that's it. Right, I need to... I don't know how I'm going to get another weapon, though, because... Oh, can I make a sword, or... No. I can make... I don't really want to do that. I want to make a sword now. I don't want to use my wild memory. Oh, I can make a sword. Okay, yeah. Alright, I'll go back to the sword then. Because that's what I need. And you know what? I will make the armor, I think. I will use the wild memory. It's soft leather armor, which is probably going to be better than nothing from now. And that's pretty much all that can be said for it. But, okay, more enemies. Yeah, I might just bolt from here. It's starting to get a bit more scenic now. We're getting the upscaled skeletons hanging from a non-upscaled wall. So lots of different regions to Abandoned Castle. I think from where you start the game as well, you can actually come in through the back that way. I think you can only do that from quite a lot later on in the game. I think you need to go through like all the way through the Aloyn ruins first. Get the first wizards now. I still don't think we've unlocked stealing yet. Right, there's the first crystal that we actually do need. I think a little bit later on, there's a few detours in the castle. One's to unlock a chair, and I think the other one is to unlock stealing. There's zombies and skeletons now. So we've got very classic Castlevania enemies. I think the whole sort of build for this game is just as gothic as possible, with a bit of fantasy, sort of skeleton zombies. Like, it's always Dracula in there somewhere. As far as I know, he's in every game. I mean, my favourite Castlevania game of all time is Lords of Shadow. I'm bound to play that on the channel eventually. And then one of my least favourite games of all time is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which is dreadful. Right, no detours yet. But yeah, Dracula is in that game, eventually. He's the most kind of traditional Castlevania character. Like, traditionally you always play as a Belmont, you'll always have a whip. There's no whips in this game, I never actually considered that before. But usually it's, you play as a Belmont, a member of the Belmont family, you fight Dracula with the Vampire Killer whip. I was saying that you can play as Trevor in a new game plus sort of situation. In which case you do with the Vampire Killer whip. Well, I've probably only done that game mode once, playing as Trevor, but there's no story in it. You just visit all the same places you did with Hector. There's the zombie sick. That's quite classic Castlevania horror as well. Right, I'm gonna do a bit of crafting because I can make the helmet now. Load of helmet? Yep. Loads of wild memories now. Alright, it's these guys. These guys are the real pains in the arse, the skeleton blazers. And there's a few different variants of them, because they just jump around so much. I think they've almost always got good stills though. And you have to get a perfect block on them, I think. There we go, got him. Through. No, one more. There we go. Am I finished? There we go. Alright, now we've got 2 different ways to go. I think 2F is the correct way, so I'm going to go left and try and unlock any secrets I can find. So I think there's a chair around here somewhere. This is going to end up being like a full 100% completionist run, isn't it? I can feel it already. Right, no chair yet. Might be a bit further on. Oh, okay. Maybe this is the correct way then. Which, that's not the way I want to go, because I want to unlock all the secrets. You know what, I'm going to crack on, because there's not much I need from these guys anymore. I mean, inevitably I'm going to run out of wild memories. I need more, but... Ah, now these guys drop aluminium, which... Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, aluminium we definitely want. I think you make the... I think you make your first fencing sword from aluminium. There we go, we got some. Short. I suspect it's going to be the short sword and a bit of aluminium. We can make our first knuckle things as well. No, I'm not going to do that yet. I'll make the sword first, which I think is going to be the fencing sword. Yep. Actually, I think these might be some of the best weapons in the game as well, because these are faster than normal swords. Yeah, that's the ability I love. Right, more of these guys. Oh, I love that one as well. Yes, I love this weapon. Right, I think the wizards need to go first. There we go, another aluminium. Can I make now? Yeah, actually I will make those, because I think... We have punch rings. I think those ones always like start with the punch rings and then just everything comes from them. I think it's just a constantly upgraded thing then. Oh, another one of these. Oh, yes, I like that ability. Panicking when I fight them. They've got a lot of health. We're gonna get another one of these. I love the combo. I just love it. I mean, it's such a simple system. I keep pressing square and then press circle for the finisher. But having a different finisher on every kind of multiple of the squares. I want to see what this is. Is this going to be steel? Yeah, double step. Beautiful. Now we can step around a bit quicker. Yeah, I can feel the speed difference already in the stepping. Now that I've got the second one. I never used the second one, but it's healing too much. Wizards first. There we go. No aluminium, unfortunately. Do we have any other way to go? Alright, we've got 2 ways here. I can't decide. I want all the secrets. I'm going to go at the 3rd floor. Because I think the fact that there's a save area the other way suggests that that is the correct way to go. I've got these bastards now. Don't heal. Yeah, it's that attack there, I think, is the one you've got to block, and then you can steal from them. Ouch. Yeah, wizard. Always wizard first by the looks of it. There we go. Ow. No. Alright, he's gone. There we go. We're going. Is there only one way to go from here? Looks like it. I don't know where I'm going now. Or maybe this is the right way. I was intending on picking up all the secrets, but I think I've accidentally gone the right way pretty much every single time. These guys again. Oh, we get our first wall dragons now as well. Yep. I mean, they're not too bad as enemies, they're quite fun to kill if anything. Tend to miss them a lot though. I forgot what button attack is. There we go. Is there another one there? Let's see. I've taken a lot of damage from these guys so far. There we go. Is there only one way? Yep. Keep going this way. Oh. Yeah, these guys do big damage as well. Ah, double hit. I hate these guys. There we go. There's only one way, yep. Yeah, it's definitely the right way. I'm pretty sure the boss fight is at the very top, and we're heading up to the 4th floor with this one as well. So I think at this point, if I was a new player, I would have just never known, because I think stealing is a missable thing, and I think it's one of the other ways. If I was a new player, I'd never have known stealing even existed, because I would have missed it. There's one bell. Right, I quite like the fast weapon, and it makes the game just more fast-paced. Ah! Knew I'd made that mistake already. I'm missing everything. Oh, I got one. So, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I think they're spawning more though. There we go. In the back. That's how you do it. Now we can deal with these guys. I think we're through. Are we in the safety? We are. Beautiful. I still love those fight scenes. Being locked in a room, being chucked loads of monsters at you. Alright, we're at the top now. And having to fight your way through. It's just... with rock music playing especially. It's just an epic part of this game that I don't know any other game that does that. But that moon is awfully close. They might have made that a bit too big. We're there, we're through. Alright, it looks like we are approaching the first boss. There we go. Iconic boss doors as well, bit of a Castlevania thing. But before we do that, I am going to go back and unlock everything I've missed, so I'll be an hour. There we go, I found the chair. That was here. So I didn't actually miss much by going back, I don't think, but the chair is something I definitely want. Beautiful. Therapeutic chair. Lovely. Yeah, fuck that. I ain't doing that again. Okay, we're back. So it looks like all I really missed was that chair. Other than that, there's one like tiny little bit of map. Yeah, there. That's going to annoy me until I go back and do it. But I'll sort that out eventually, but not now. So at 89.9% completion of the Abandoned Castle already. And most of it is unlocked through this bit here, which you don't get until like Alon Ruins or something like that. So I'm pretty much as complete as it will get for now, other than that tiny little bit. So now, let's jump in for the first boss. Here he is. That's proper rock, that is. Oh. I love the sound effects this guy makes as well. It's like screaming. And I know this guy has two phases as well. Oh god. This is proper hardcore rock, isn't it? Oh dear. Right, I'm putting him on auto so he doesn't waste his MP. Oh, should have dodged that. This is like classic Castlevania horror, this kind of enemy. How did I get hit by that? Ouch. Getting hit by stuff I definitely dodged. Oh dear. Right, there's the first phase down. I don't think the second phase is particularly more difficult, but we'll find out. I must have done this fight so many times because I did boss rush so many times in my youth. Yeah, he's going down easy. He's not even attacking. Oh god. Taking quite a lot of damage. I need to get used to doing that manually. Ah. And we got him. There we go. So there's the first boss down. Not too difficult. I know the bosses get more difficult as they go along, but not too bad at all. And there's the portal to the Balchat Mountains. Add another chair while we're there as well. So that will be all there is for now. I think we've pretty much done, 90% completion of Abandoned Castle map. Not too bad for the first run through it. There's a couple of bits I need to go back and unlock, but we're going to leave it there. So in the next episode, we'll go through the Balchat Mountains, and I'll see you then. Peace.